Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're looking at something that honestly feels like a warm blanket for anybody who just loves stories. We're diving into the great literary universe. Now, if you're picturing your typical fantasy realm with dragons and epic battles, scratch that. This is something entirely different. It's a magical sanctuary that is specifically designed to care for the vulnerable, unfinished elements of stories, keeping them safe until they're truly ready to become whole. Basically, it's a haven where incomplete thoughts go when they just aren't quite ready to face the world yet.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever actually heard a page sigh when it thinks nobody is going to turn it? I know, kind of weird, right? But that incredibly specific sound sets the tone for exactly how you enter this universe. In our story, it's exactly what a child named Mira experiences one evening. Picture the scene. She's in a quiet library, the lamps are soft, there's this sleepy pearl moon shining outside, and she hears something totally unexpected. It's not a crash, it's not a cry, it's a tiny sigh. The exact sound a page makes when it feels totally forgotten and just needs a gentle rescue.
Mira doesn't just instantly magically teleport there, though. She actually has to follow that tiny sigh. Walking barefoot, she moves step by step from the quiet library, right past these very ordinary sleepy dictionaries, navigates beyond a magical shelf of pauses, and finally finds the entrance. It's this faintly glowing corridor that acts as a bridge between our real world and the magical realm.
And stepping through that corridor brings us right into the Hall of Almost. Now, this place breathes a comforting scent, literally a cedar and paper breath. It's an unhurried hallway, totally bathed in this faint, gentle glow. And it's not a sad place, it's just waiting. You've got almost finished stories resting there, and almost brave sentences just leaning against the walls, waiting for their moment to be complete. If you walk to the very end of that glowing hallway, you'll find a softly lit blue door marked in shimmering silver ink. Behind that door is our main destination, the Room of Unfinished Endings. It's a round, incredibly cozy room. We're talking soft cushions everywhere, bookmarks floating and twirling in the air, and little lamps shaped like tiny moons. It is the ultimate safe haven for lonely endings that feel like they're just mistakes.
So you might be wondering who actually takes care of these forgotten endings. Well, let me introduce you to the caretakers. They're called the in-betweeners. We have Ari, who carries a folded ribbon of words. There's Link, who holds this amazing golden lantern of listening light. And Seamus, whose pockets are just absolutely bursting with tiny folded paper stars that hold guiding questions inside. Oh, and we absolutely cannot forget the living punctuation. The sleepy comma, wearing a tiny little knitted cap, is there just to remind everyone that taking a good pause is essential. These caretakers all share one guiding philosophy. Endings just need to be understood, not forced to be happy.
Inside this cozy room, Mira zeroes in on one specific little ending. It's written on a small piece of cream-colored paper. The letters are super pale, and its edges are literally drooping. It has curled itself up really tightly in the farthest corner of the room, turned completely away from everyone else. Why? Because it feels a massive sense of inadequacy. It honestly just feels it wasn't grand enough to matter.
You see, this little ending thought it needed loud magic to be considered real. It thought it needed fireworks, big parades, maybe someone climbing a mountain or winning a crown and shouting hooray. But when the caretakers gently asked what actually happened in its story, it revealed a completely different, much gentler reality. The story was just about a child forgiving a friend and the two of them sitting quietly together under a tree.
The little ending feels totally useless without some massive, loud celebration to validate it. Seeing this, Mira looks at the ending and asks the entire room a really beautiful question. Can something quiet still be important? Trapped in its own self-doubt, the little ending doesn't answer her.
But the sleepy comma happily chimes in. I just love this moment. The living punctuation says, "A comma pauses quietly, and look how useful I am." The caretakers remind the little ending that a seed opens quietly, a heart softens quietly. Some of the most profound, universe-shifting things happen without making a single sound, but they matter so deeply.
To help dig a little deeper, Link brings his golden lantern to the center of the room. Now remember, this isn't just a regular lantern for seeing, it's a lantern for listening. It illuminates what a sentence truly means underneath its surface words. And under that warm listening light, the ending's true, vulnerable desire finally comes out. It just wanted the reader to know that a broken friendship could be repaired. That's it.
Which naturally leads Mira to ask another foundational question. So, what actually makes an ending good? Well, the in-betweeners are super quick to point out what it's not. It's not about being loud, It's not about having an audience clap for you. It's not about looking really impressive from far away. And as the Sleepy Comma points out, it's definitely not about using too many exclamation marks.
Instead, Ari offers this beautifully simple definition. A good ending helps the story rest in truth. That single line completely anchors the whole philosophy of the great literary universe. It proves that an ending doesn't have to perfectly fix everything in a neat little bow. Simply telling an honest story about forgiveness, telling the truth gently, is incredibly brave all on its own.
At this point, Seamus reaches into his pocket and pulls out one of those soft yellow paper stars. He unfolds it to reveal a guiding question for the ending. What helps the story feel finished without pretending everything is perfect? Mira and the caretakers all realize the answer together, and you can almost feel the collective sigh of relief in the room. The answer is just honesty, tenderness, and simply taking a small next step.
And exactly with that realization, we start to see the ending change. First, it literally writes a beginning inside the ending. By finally admitting the truth that the friends under the tree weren't suddenly perfect, but rather honest with each other, the magic finally happens. Those pale letters deepen into a rich, confident brown ink. The drooping edges of the paper lift right up, and the ending proudly punctuates itself.
Now that it's fully restored, Mira and the in-betweeners carry this brave little ending back out of the round room. As they walk back through the faintly glowing hallway, leaving behind a lovely trail of Seamus's paper stars and the Sleepy Comma's good pauses, the whole Hall of Almost feels completely different. Because one ending found its truth, all the other almost brave sentences suddenly stand a little taller, and the almost finished stories stretch out comfortably beneath their blankets. They make their way to the very center of the hall, to the magnificent story tree. This thing is literally made of paper, bark, and moonlight, with actual pages fluttering like leaves. Its branches are there to safely hold open books that are just tired from waiting for their missing pieces. Mira spots the specific open book that belongs to our little ending, and very gently places it inside. As it settles in, it makes a soft sound that is perfectly described as a sigh becoming a song. What happens next really proves the unique kind of magic this universe runs on. There's no loud burst of sparks, there are no flashing bright colors. Instead, the entire book just takes a deep, relaxing breath. The first page brightens up, the middle pages relax, and the story simply becomes whole. Because sometimes, just becoming whole is the most beautiful magic there is. With its missing piece finally returned, the little ending writes that it can finally truly rest. And this isn't just because the story is over, it's because the ending is finally understood. Ari just smiles at this, confirming that yeah, being understood is without a doubt one of the very best kinds of finish a story can ever achieve. As our journey through the universe wraps up, Mira finds herself back in the big reading chair in her real-world library. The magic gently fades out, Link's lantern dims, but Seamus leaves one last folded paper star right by her hand, for her to remember. He leaves her, and really all of us, with this super powerful, comforting truth. Quiet things can still carry brave beginnings. So as we close the book on this explainer today, the great literary universe leaves us with an absolutely beautiful challenge. We don't always need fireworks to make a real impact. I want to invite you to look at your own life right now. Where in your day did a quiet moment actually matter way more than a loud one? What almost brave sentence are you currently leaving unfinished? Keep that thought with you today. And remember, sometimes the absolute quietest moments are the truest ones. Thanks so much for exploring this with me.